everyone, and welcome to the Starlit Shelf, where we talk about books, stories, and the authors who bring them to life. Today, we have Allie Morgans here, author of This Time Maybe. Welcome, Allie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. I feel like I've been wanting to talk to you for a very long time because ever since I started a Bookstagram, I feel like you were one of the first people that was like in my circle of
Oh,
people.
thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember when you were at La Habba's library and you were that for a really long
I
time. And
know. R.I.P.
yeah,
It's sad.
but I don't think we've ever really had a conversation, like nothing,
I
extreme.
know.
So
I
it's
am
like
also
you've always,
admittedly,
what?
I'm horrible in the DMs too. Like, I will think that I've responded to someone or like, and there's no like, I'm one of those people, if you message me, I'm either responding right away or in like 3 to 5 business days, you know?
You know what that is? It's because you're a mom.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's our mom brain because me and my friends, like in text messages, we have an understanding that if you text me and I don't get back to you for a week, it's okay.
Oh,
Because we know
yeah.
that we're like gonna look at the message and be like, okay, I'll get back to them soon. And then it's
Yes,
like, oh
that's
yeah,
what good friends do.
then I have all these other things to do. So to start it all off, can you tell us a little bit about your book this time, maybe?
Okay, so the best way to kind of sum up this time maybe, and let's keep in mind, like, guys, I'm not in sales, so so my pitch is not very good, and I know too much about the book, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But so basically it's like our main character is Kat. She lost her brother tragically a couple years ago, and kind of in the falling out of grief, her and his best friend have this like don't even want to call it a fling because it's so much deeper than a fling, but it ends badly, right? Then we fast forward to 2 years later, present day. Kat's like fresh off of a divorce from a marriage that she like literally rebounded with from her brother's best friend.
Mhm.
And she's like, you know what, I'm gonna get myself back out there. Goes on her first date online, and it happens to be at the bar owned by the
Mhm.
guy, like her brother's best friend Logan, who
Yeah.
we met, in the prologue.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of like a story about coming home to yourself again, finding yourself, learning to love yourself again, and also like letting someone else love you after you've been burned. And also, it's, just I would say it's really a big story of healing overall because it's like Kat
Mhm.
is healing from so many things in her life.
Yeah.
And, that was the main focus of the whole thing. Again, not a great pitch, but
No, no, that's perfect. And it was very concise. You did really well. So
thanks.
one thing that because I was an art reader for this book, and that's why
Mhm.
I was like, oh my gosh, like, can I feature you in the Starlit Shelf? I would love to have you. But when you first start off the book, it starts off really heavy. And like when you think contemporary romance, you think kind of light and fun and whatever. But this time maybe starts off with mentions of PTSD. It talks about like suicide. It talks about domestic violence. And it's like, this book is so much deeper than just a
Mhm.
contemporary romance. And I feel like it's a really important book because I feel like a lot of people go through these things, but they do it quietly,
Yes.
And so when you say this book is about healing, absolutely. I almost think that is the primary thing that this book is about with like a subplot of romance.
Yes. Yeah.
But so there, like I said, there's a ton of heavy topics. And I'm wondering what inspired you to write this book that touched on all of these different topics?
I think for me, it's like this was actually one of my struggles writing it is I was like, am I going to get canceled for writing about things this heavy? And then to try and to do it in a way where it's not diminished or romanticized, and
Mm-hmm.
it's also like just to do it kind of in the way that felt right, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um and also I am just not someone who shies away from heavy subjects, and while I love to read a book that's like light, fluffy, with very minimal conflict, it's great. But me personally, I found it very hard to write something that didn't touch on like deeper stuff because I just know too much about trauma and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Um, and then from like my own personal experiences as like an abusive relationship survivor, it was important for me kind of I pulled a lot of myself and put me into the main character. Um, because I know what it's like to be in those situations. And it was important for me to be like, I'm gonna write this story while yes, it's like labeled a romance. I'm gonna write this story that maybe someone else is like, oh, that's me. I see myself in Kat,
Hmm.
and this could help me, or maybe someone who's stuck in a relationship like that.
Hmm.
Granted, not much of the story focuses on her relationship with her ex, but we do have flashbacks and things. And then
Yeah.
I think the process that comes with like a post-abuse relationship, you kind of blame yourself for things like that. Even with like instances of SA, people blaming themselves, things like that.
Hmm.
And as far as like the loss of the brother, I am lucky enough that I personally have not experienced that myself.
Hmm.
Um, but I also know a lot of veterans, and I
Yeah.
know a lot of veterans who have PTSD, and I know how kind of as taboo as this might be to say, the VA does not offer as much support as it should for a lot of these people. And so, mental health representation is important to me.
Hmm.
Trauma is so much bigger than I think people even understand baseline.
Hmm.
And, people need support. And it was also important for me to show men supporting other men emotionally.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
like that,
So many things I want to talk about off of all of what you just said.
I know, I'm sorry, that was a lot.
No, no, it's good. It's great. And so this is why I love Logan so much, is because one, he started this like group of men to support them and make it
Mhm.
so that it's not something taboo. This is something that we need to talk about. Otherwise, instances of what happened with Kat's brother can happen again, and he doesn't want that to happen.
Mhm.
Second of all, Logan, when she confides in him what her past relationship was like, she was, I think there was a moment where she was like, she was really scared to tell him because she thought that he was going to say, well, why didn't you leave? Like, why he was like, because when we're from the outside, we're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, get out of there.
Exactly.
Why is it so hard for you to leave someone that's obviously bad for you? But that's not what he said. And I think what he said, and I'm so sorry if I'm wrong, but he said something
You're
about
fine.
how strong she was. And for the fact that she did eventually get out, he didn't focus on when she stayed, he focused on how she got out.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Logan like a top tier book boyfriend, in my opinion, is because of that aspect of his personality.
Yeah. I mean, I think even me personally, before I was in a situation with an abusive partner, I was like, why don't you just leave? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Or we see like
Yeah.
celebrities, right? And we're like, obviously celebrities are so romanticized and idolized, but it's
Mhm.
like it'll be like someone in a bad relationship and we're like, why didn't they leave? And
Yeah.
I just feel like that's such a vague question. So it's funny
Yeah.
you say that because actually I really wanted to include the fact that people ask that question to
Hmm.
survivors because it
Hmm.
was important for me for people to realize like, yeah, that's just like we're so past that. It's so tired.
Hmm.
Like stop asking them why they didn't leave. In the moment, you don't even know that you can't even imagine leaving because the fear of leaving outweighs everything else, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, another thing that I wanted to ask about off of what you're talking about. So, you personally have experience with an abusive relationship, but you don't have a personal experience with, suicidal thoughts, somebody losing someone to suicide, PTSD. You don't have that. And that's such a heavy topic. And it's like, I feel like there must have been a lot of pressure on you to portray that correctly and do it with sensitivity, and so
Yes.
how did you said that you have some veteran friends, is that really like your resource for writing about that topic?
I would say that I have one of my best friends is a therapist for veterans,
Oh.
and obviously she doesn't share details with me, but she's a veteran herself, and she also works to get them their 100% disability, things like that.
Yeah.
And like we just, she has read like the DSM-5 like cover to cover about like all
Hmm.
trauma and everything. So she's just that friend that we just have conversations like that all the time.
Hmm.
Um, and again, it's just like living in the Northern Virginia area and be surrounded by people who are from the military. My husband's family is military. Like it's just really hard to avoid what that does to people. And yet people still avoid it and
Yeah.
people still expect them to do things. Um, and then like, as far as like the suicide thing, my brother did lose his best friend in high school to suicide. And that was like a really crazy, jarring thing to happen like in high school, you know?
Hmm.
And there have just been so many other losses like that within the community that I know.
Yeah.
And so for that too. And also just like it's not always the people you think it's gonna be.
Oh
Sometimes
yeah.
it's the guy with the biggest smile in the room, you
Mhm.
know? So I don't know that I didn't like do research about it,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess you could say. It's just like I pull a lot of influence just from things I know, people I know, and then obviously with my job, it's like I hear all sorts of stories all the time as a
Mhm.
hairstylist.
Yeah.
And so you just hear the best of the best and you hear the worst of the worst. So at the same
Mhm.
time, it's like, you know, while things are like, we should share the good things, it's also like, let's talk about the bad things a little bit too. Let's
Yeah.
shine a little light on that.
Well, again, I feel like it's really important because again, a lot of people keep this hidden because I think of that fear of being perceived as weak or less than and all of those topics, right? PTSD,
Yeah.
suicidal thoughts, domestic violence, all of those people think that if they admit to it that they are going to be perceived as weak. And so and when you say like
Especially men.
right, yes. Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. And when you say that, your brother's friend who passed away and it's like you would have never expected it, I feel like it's almost like an overcompensation of their internal thoughts to be perceived as this like super happy person so that nobody thinks that of them.
Hmm.
But then
Yeah,
it
I
goes
would agree.
completely, yeah, and then they just go unnoticed and it gets to a point where there's no return. So it's
Yeah.
that's really unfortunate. And I think, again, it's really important to shine a light on this so that people know that they aren't alone and that they can find help and they can talk to people. Um,
Hmm.
Actually, is there resources at the end of your book, at the very end, for like, uh,
No, but you know what? I need to add that. Thank you
yeah,
for
I think
mentioning that.
yeah, I think that that's a good idea because of those mentions. I feel like,
Yeah.
resources for people who are suffering through any of those three things should
You're right. I should add that because I've added it on like my stories and stuff every now
mhm,
and then, but you're
yeah.
right. That's good.
Yeah. I have
I'm
like
writing
the
it
arc
down.
I have the ARC book, so I don't have the
Yeah.
final version. So let's switch gears a little bit. So, what character or scene was your favorite to write and why?
Ooh, character. You know what? I obviously like love Kat and I
Yeah,
relate a lot to
yeah,
her.
yeah.
And I love Logan too. So it's hard because now I'm like writing some of the other characters for a book
Yeah,
too. And so
I
I'm
was going to
like,
ask about that.
yeah, I don't know. I think it was, I don't know that I have a favorite character. I feel like that's like picking a favorite child.
Yeah, yeah.
But I will say, like, for scenes, it's like I loved writing like the argument in the rain. Like, I just love a
Oh,
notebook rain
oh,
argument scene. I just think it's
yeah.
great. Put one in every book, and I will be so happy. Um,
I'll
and
find a way to include
honestly,
it.
yeah, honestly, like that's like my favorite trope, arguing
Yeah,
in the rain.
yeah.
Um,
Micro trope.
Honestly, yeah, anytime like the group was together as a whole,
Oh
I
my God.
had a lot of fun writing those
Yeah,
scenes because it was
yeah,
like it reminded me of my friends, and then also it's just like it also reminded me just of like it was like a little nostalgic. There were like some throwback games I put in there and things like that. And so
yeah.
I'm like, this is fun. Like I just had a lot of fun writing those. They weren't as it was nice to have like lighter moments like that because I would get stuck sometimes on the heavier moments. I was trying to keep like a good balance, you know?
Yeah. I like the truck scene where everyone's like all wasted and Logan's
Oh
there
my God, and
to
they
get
go
them
to
all.
McDonald's. I know. I love that scene. Yeah, I love that
I
one.
I really like Mallory. I'm really interested because
Hmm.
you're gonna do all the three women, right? So Mallory, Lana, and Kat.
Yeah, you're
I
gonna Lana is not book three though.
oh, okay.
So yeah, you will in book two, it'll be really obvious who book three is about. But
Okay.
we will get Lana's story. It's just it's a different it's different. It'll slide in.
Is she not gonna be with the person that we think she's gonna be with? Oh my God. Okay. All right.
That would be too boring.
It's like expected. It's like Akatar with like
Yeah.
Feyre and Nesta.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I was gonna say that and I was like, am I allowed to say that?
no,
No, but like
okay.
no,
Well,
but like yeah, you no. No, Lana has a different story.
interesting. Okay. Well,
Hmm.
Mallory, I just love her like no filter kind of attitude, and she's just very
I am having so much fun writing her. I'm
Is this
like,
the
it
Valerie
is,
book too?
yes,
Okay, wonderful.
it
Yeah.
is like, it is so much fun. Like she might like she's very there's a lot of her that's based on my childhood best friend that I've known
Oh,
since I was 9.
yeah.
And so like it's very fun to put some of her in that, but then kind of like exaggerate her also.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, she would never say this, but
Yeah. But she's the inspo. Yeah, I saw that
Mhm.
and the in your like dedication at the end, you said to my Lana and Mallory, and I think it was like Michelle and someone else. But
Michelle and Jess,
um
yeah.
were they in the Home Goods video?
Jess was. Michelle was our DD because she's pregnant. She was pregnant, yeah.
Was it the girl in the black tank top your sister?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I was
Susie.
like, because I was like,
hmm
this they sound and look alike, and I'm like, they
I
have to
know.
be related. Like, there's
Yeah,
no way.
she's my older sister, yeah.
Okay. Um, so I had a question. So House on Evergreen Street, this isn't what we're focusing on today. We're gonna focus
hmm
on this time maybe, but I did have a question. Is it in the same like universe as Kat, Lana, and
Yeah,
Mallory? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's in the same state, but it's
Oh,
just
okay.
like we're on like different like we've got the beach and we've got the mountains.
Okay. Is there gonna be any like Easter eggs of like crossover?
Logan is mentioned once.
Okay. Okay.
hmm
Yeah, I'm excited. I for y'all watching the two people that watch this.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I just downloaded House on Evergreen Street. It's like a holiday book, right?
hmm
And
Yep.
it's only
Just
like 200.
really light, surface
Yes.
level.
Yeah. Okay. So no like hard topics or
No,
anything like
I didn't want to like hit you back to back and like Christmas should be like light and fluffy, you know?
yeah. Is this like a Hallmark book?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, you start off it's like you know off the bat that the female main character like her mom passed away, but it's not
Okay.
like the focal point of the story, but it's why she's in the town to
Okay.
sell the house, you know? So
Okay.
it's
I
but
need
we
to read
don't like
something
go
light
into
and
that.
fluffy because I have been reading a lot of like dark stuff. So I feel
Yeah.
like I need this
Yeah.
Christmas book in my life.
Palette
Okay.
cleanse.
Yeah. So, what challenges have you faced while writing this book? Oh, did you freeze?
Yeah, you froze. Okay. Wait,
Okay.
where'd you go? Hold
Did you
on. Oh,
hear
there
it?
you are. No, I did not hear the question. I'm so sorry. It's probably my internet.
No, it
Oh
just
God.
said mine is your internet connection, even though it says I have full bars.
Ugh.
It's okay. But so the next question I have is what challenges did you face while writing this book?
I'm off the bat, imposter syndrome, like
Oh.
2000%. I mean, why would anyone want to read my book? Why does
Mm.
anyone need to see, like, why should this see the light of day?
Yeah.
That's definitely my challenge. Like, like just just the voices in your head being like, you
Yeah.
shouldn't do this. This is stupid. You know, what makes you think you can do this? Everybody makes a bookstagram and writes a book, right? Like it's,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
but so I had to just stop worrying about that because I was like, listen, if this book like and I told people as I was writing it, I was like, if this book never sees the light of day, if I never even self-publish it, I just want to write it for myself. I don't care. Like I just want to see it beginning to end and be done with it. And then, you know, the other struggle is having a full-time job and having 2 kids and
Yeah.
finding the time
Yeah.
to write and manage deadlines on your own also when you're just like there are so many other things that you kind of have to bump up the list before your like pipe dream of being an author
Mhm.
essentially.
So how long did it take you then? Because yeah, if you work full time and you're a mom and you were trying to write this book, how long did
hmm
it take you then?
From when I got the initial idea,
Hmm.
the whole process took about a year.
Okay,
Um
that's not that
just
bad.
just because it was like it was just an idea for a little bit.
Hmm.
And the way that I write is weird. It's like I'll get an idea for like a scene and I'm like, this
Oh.
isn't a book. Like I had a notes section of all these books. I have one note that says like future books I'd like to write. And I've had this for like 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And also like my friends used to joke, they were like, you need to write like a women's like self-help book about
Uh,
like recovering from abuse. And I was like, that's crazy. So again, I think kind of this is where that came from
yeah,
also. But I yeah, I just like it, my notes app is crazy. So I'll get
yeah.
ideas like the rain scene and which obviously was inspired from the notebook. And then, other scenes, I will literally, this is gonna sound crazy. I'll be like lying in bed at night, like trying to sleep, and I'll be like, I'll be like, what if they're in the car
No,
and this, and
total
I will like
sense.
roll over, write it down in my notes app, and then close it and go back to bed.
That's when I
And
have
it's,
panic attacks. That's when my brain quiets down and I'm like,
yeah, no. I have a little, I'll like eat a gummy and like some of my best ideas will come as I'm drifting off to sleep. Or
well,
I'll literally like dream about something and I'm like, ooh, that's great.
yeah, that's
Um,
cool. But that makes
so
sense
yeah.
because your brain quiets down and you don't have a ton of
Yeah.
distractions and like they
Yeah.
just naturally come to you. But oh shit, I just forgot what my question was. Fuck. Oh, what made you decide to want to write contemporary romance though? Like why? Because I feel like in our bookish arena, it's primarily like romantasy and fantasy and at least in mine, is it not yours?
No, 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 it is. I don't have the brain for that. Like
Okay.
the world building.
Yeah.
No, I knew fantasy would always be off the shelf for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's actually great because like when I'm writing a book, I'm only reading fantasy or romantasy
Mm,
because it's not related whatsoever.
yeah.
So like I can still enjoy reading and
Mhm.
not worry that I'm pulling ideas from another
Oh,
book, you know?
yeah. Hmm.
Um, no, I don't have like the puzzle pieces that you have to have for like each
Oh,
book in a
it's
fantasy
yeah.
series.
Yeah, that's insane.
And then I feel like, I mean, at the end of the day, all books are pretty similar, right? Especially if they
Yeah.
have the same tropes, but like,
Yeah.
no, fantasy is overwhelming. So I chose contemporary because I also was like, I'm not a dark romance writer either. Like I do
Oh,
read
okay.
some dark romance, but like I'm not a writer in that sense. Like
Well, you
I
did do
wouldn't
the
be.
smut scenes.
Well, okay, so for us, like for some people, that's like, okay, that's like spicy, but then other people are like, this is very tame.
Yeah.
Versus
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm thinking of like my Catholic mother reading this because my mom is nothing if not my number one cheerleader, like no matter what. And so like I had her blocked on my book account the first 2 years. Yeah, or whatever, a year and a half.
Sorry, mom.
And when I wrote this book, she was like, I can't find your account. And I was like, I told you I blocked you. And she was like, can you unblock me? I said, yeah, I'll unblock you. I said, but you have to prepare yourself for like what you're going to see. And I said, and if you're going to read this book,
You might need
I
to
made
pray
her a
words.
I made her a guide so she could skip. My older brother wanted to read it. And I said, do you know what open door romance is? He goes, no. And I said,
Means you get to see everything.
so I said, please separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, for
But yeah,
sure.
so I knew I was not a dark romance writer. And
Yeah.
I knew I was like, yeah, there are dark topics in this, but it's still not dark romance. So
Is there
I
another
love a
genre that
happily
you
ever
would want?
after.
Okay, but is there a genre that you would want to explore that like you kind of thought about and you're like that would be fun, but maybe not yet, but maybe someday?
Honestly, no.
No. Okay.
Like the only other thing I could see myself doing is like writing poetry. Like
Really?
that's it. Yeah, I love writing poetry,
Do
but
you have literary experience or is this just kind of a hobby?
no,
Like, do
I've
you have any
just like
education?
loved writing my whole life. Since I was
Okay.
like 6 years old, I always wrote stories and it was just one of those things that was like nobody grows up to be an author unless they're like Ernest Hemingway. It was like very naive. I just didn't
Yeah.
have like it was like go to high school, go to college, get a job, like 9 to 5. Like
Mm,
that is like what the plan was. And if it wasn't for like the book community, I don't think I ever would have felt comfortable enough in my own skin to put pen to paper again
yeah.
and do that. But because like when it became like uncool to be like into writing and stuff in like high school, middle school,
Mhm.
that was when I would just do it at home in like my journals. I didn't pursue actually learning a lot about what it takes to be a great writer.
It's funny because your biggest challenge was imposter syndrome, and yet you've been writing all your life. So,
Yeah, but like anybody can write,
right.
right?
But so I want to circle back to that though, because I feel like that's a really, honestly, I feel like imposter syndrome. That's what Haley just said in my last interview. She was
Hmm.
like, I still don't think I'm an author.
Right.
And so I know you're probably not over that challenge and you're probably still navigating it, but how have you navigated that challenge?
I I don't know. It's funny. I think something that actually helps me a lot is that one of my friends on here, Chelsea, is that she's like, I'm so proud of you for writing the book. She's like, I've been writing all these books, and you know,
Redhead
probably know her.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea reads
I love
books.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
yeah.
nice. Yeah, I like
And
her.
she's always like, I'm just scared. And I think like, and I told her, I said, just write the book. I said, just do it. You can do it. Like your story is going to be different than anyone else's. Put it out there because it's your voice and it means something to you.
Yeah.
And I think in like having those conversations with her, I was like, I should probably be telling this like to myself.
Yeah. I feel like we're always I think a couple things. So one, my like mantra for 2025 was to do the things that scare you.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we hold ourselves back so often just based off of fear. And I feel like this is
Yes.
apparently a theme for us today is talking about
Mm-hmm.
fear, fear of judgment, fear of whatever. But I feel like we need to think about because starting the Starlit Shelf, I thought I was going to get canceled because, I'm doing paid services and it's like, oh my God, everyone's going to hate me. But,
Yeah.
but it's like, it's scarier thinking about never knowing what could have been. And like, even so, for instance, I started a business before the Starlit Shelf and that failed. And it was with my husband and I tried it and it's like completely flopped. Nothing came of it.
Oh, I get
And
it.
and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, well, that's okay. It's okay. We tried. I learned a lot, but what can I do next? Like, what's the next step? Oh, well, I have this book account and I can do something off of this. What should my focus be? Indie authors. Let's do that. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, even if you were to write a book and then it flopped or whatever, or like got horrible reviews or something like that, but like take that as a learning experience to grow from,
Yeah,
right?
like
And
you
so,
still did it. You
yeah,
still did it.
exactly. And it takes a lot, obviously, a lot of courage to do that. And yeah, imposter syndrome, it's really hard. And I think that you're absolutely right is that when we see our friends dealing with it, we're their biggest cheerleaders. And it's like,
Right.
why can't
We're like,
we?
how dare you talk about yourself so meanly?
Yeah, yeah. And then it's like, but
Yeah.
wait, how I'm diminishing myself and my value and
Mm-hmm.
my confidence. And it's like, why am I doing that to myself? Like, I'm the only me that I got. Like, I'm
Right.
not,
How
why
weird.
am I treating myself so horribly? And so, again, I feel like a lot of authors, I feel like this has actually been a really common thing that when I talk to authors, I think Sorsha said that too, but she was like, you just got to keep writing and just kind of just
Mm-hmm.
keep going and just kind of push through. But it's something
Mm-hmm.
that we're always going to, I feel like we'll always have seeds of doubt in our head no
Yes.
matter
Yeah.
what. It's a matter of like recognizing it for what it is. And then for I've been going to therapy. So
Yeah. Love
but
that.
anyways, but it's like when I have those like negative self-talk thoughts come up, what I try to do now is kind of balance it with like when I was starting to start the shelf, oh my God, everyone's gonna cancel me. But what if they don't? And
Yeah.
what if people actually do want to work with me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I see that I'm thinking this, but how can I shift it to something else? Not like completely
Mm-hmm.
negate these, but like,
Yeah, like I'm acknowledging these
yeah,
feelings, but like how can we like change the perspective here?
exactly. And so
Yeah.
again, I feel like when it comes to writing a book, it's like, okay, yeah, it could fail. It could get horrible reviews. I could get a ton of backlash from it because I'm writing on these heavy topics and maybe I
Mm-hmm.
represented it wrong or something like that, or someone who has experienced that didn't experience it
Yeah.
in the same way that I wrote it. But it's like, again, it's a learning experience and you use it as a way to grow, I guess. I don't know. I got off on a
Yeah.
tangent there, but
And it's like just like you said like a second ago about like what if someone like doesn't get it? And I had to tell myself like this story is not going to be for everyone. And
yeah.
that's okay. Like not every book is for everybody. Not every story is going to be for everyone. And so I do not have the thickest skin at times. Actually being on Bookstagram has taught me a lot about how to deal with like negativity, especially for people who don't know me. I have
Yeah.
to remember that they don't know me. They don't know the real me, and that's fine.
Mhm.
Even though like what I present online is like who I am. It's my unhinged crazy thoughts. But like I mean like what they say or comment like can't hurt me if I don't let
Yeah.
it. And so I
Yeah.
think that's also it's like, yeah, not everyone's gonna get this. It's
Hmm.
not for everyone. And that helped ease that pressure of like, this has to do amazing.
Hmm.
No, I don't, it's okay.
Yeah, and it is. And this actually is a good segue into the final question in my book segment, which is What do you hope readers take away from this book? When they read this book, what do you want them to take with them?
Oh God, there's a lot of things I guess I could say. I'm trying to think like, I think that one, it's like never too late to start over. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for me, mainly it's like, again, if like everybody hates my book, but like one person is like moved by it and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, I resonate with this in a way that I wasn't expecting, then like that's great. I would love
Mm-hmm.
for every reader to take away something special from it, but I don't think that again everyone will have that experience.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess just like the book as a whole, it's like just don't be afraid to work on yourself. Don't be afraid to admit all of the things that
Mm-hmm.
you are feeling. Don't ever be afraid to ask for help, but also at the end of the day, like you don't need anyone else to save you. You can
Yeah.
save yourself. Like you have
Oh,
it.
isn't that at the beginning at the
I think that's my dedication. Yes.
yeah, I love that. I love that one.
Yeah.
And when you so sorry, but I wanted to bring this
No, you're
up when we're
fine.
talking about like questioning whether or not you should write a book. And you'd said it just now that even if it affects only one person,
Hmm.
then it will have been worthwhile.
Yeah. And I think like I have gotten the messages I've gotten from people, like there are people who I didn't even that talked to for like a year on here. They're like, I lost my brother to suicide. They're like, I lost my like someone who had started reading it had just lost her brother
Oh
to
my God.
suicide. And she was like, this literally helped me grieve. And she was like, I thought it was going to be really hard, but she was like, but it helped me in the best way. And so like, I'm sorry, give me one message like that. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's amazing. I'm horrified that you are having to go through
Yeah.
that. That's awful. But if my little book, pieces of paper in a binding is helping you feel better, then what else do I need?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know? And like, and messages like that. And then also from people being like, I had an abusive partner and like, I just, the way that you talked about specific things about what your mind goes through after and like the guilt and everything and the shame. And they're like, that's like, how did you get that? And I'm like, well, because I know, but but I'm
Yeah.
like also, but I'm
Unfortunately,
like,
I know have
that's great.
experience.
I'm like, that's just that to me is like great. That's it.
Yeah.
If it was just one person that felt that way, I would have felt accomplished.
Mhm. I feel like that's such a common theme with all these indie authors that I've been talking to is that their book has been an outlet for negative experiences that they've had in their life. And it was their way of kind of navigating it in their own way. But in doing so, it also, again, was that representation and like kind of standing in solidarity with other people who
Hmm.
had experienced similar things. And again, this is why it's so important. Like, if you feel like you have something to write about and something important like that, that you've gone through that was really like traumatic for you,
Yeah.
more often than not, you're not alone, and that somebody else will be like, thank you for writing about this because I feel seen. So,
Right. And it's like, even if that story doesn't see the light of day,
mhm.
write it down and write
Mhm.
it as a different character going through it.
Yeah.
And it will be cathartic for you in a way that like you didn't realize was possible. Because again, it's like your friend going through something, you're going to be
Yeah.
nicer to your friend about it.
Yeah.
So if you put it where it's not you, it's a lot easier to look at it as a whole as to what you went through. And it's like, what would I have wanted someone to say to me at this moment? What would I have hoped for?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's man,
So like just write it
that's good
down.
therapy. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to tell my therapist about that. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, your therapist doesn't tell you to journal. Mine used to always
Oh
say
no,
that.
she does. She does. But like
Yeah.
it's interesting to do it when you say to do it in a different, like
Like
you're
third
writing about a
person.
character
It
who
makes
went
you
through,
sound like psycho, but
but no, but it makes sense because we're always, unfortunately, we're always kinder to others than we are to ourselves.
yes.
And to do it in that way, because journaling, like we usually write it about ourselves and
Yeah,
like,
like Dear Diary. Yeah,
yeah, right.
exactly.
And so, but like to be like, okay, this is, Veronica and she
Yeah,
went through
exactly.
this trauma, but like,
Right.
and you're I don't know, it just shifts it a little bit. And so it gives you that like outsider perspective. And like, how would you talk to that person about what it's just, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
it's a great activity,
Yeah,
therapeutic
yes,
activity to
yes.
do. I think
A
that
good winter seasonal depression activity for all.
if you guys need help working through your trauma, write a story about a character who went through the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, okay. Anyway, so let's shift over to the author segment. And so, what first inspired you to become a writer? I think we already touched on this a little bit just because you said you've kind of always loved writing, but
Hmm.
was there a moment in the recent past that was like, I finally am ready to do this. I'm ready to write this book. I'm ready to make this big step.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there was definitely like a catalyst again, I would say.
Really?
So, much like you, so I had tried right prior to writing these books, I had tried to branch off into a different kind of business
Oh,
because I
okay.
was like, I've been doing hair for 13 years and I was like, physically it's really taken a toll on me and also like I have to be there to make money, right? And then also as like the with my husband's crazy work schedule, I'm still the primary caretaker. So all that boring but real shit aside, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I gotta get out of here. So I thought I was gonna go into real estate.
Oh, is that why you're a cat?
Yeah, that was kind of like, haha. But it was not for me, guys. I couldn't sell you a blanket on a cold day. Like, it's just not for me. So, um,
Oh, that's
but it
funny.
was funny because it was like I don't know about how you were with your kids, but like the first like 2 years for me with each of my kids, I didn't know who I was again. Like it took me a full 2 years for the clouds to kind of clear
Hmm.
and for everything to like be like it's like that TikTok sound where it's like life is worth a living. Like that's how it felt. Like because I feel like the postpartum fog is like it's so intense. And so that was like when I was trying real estate. And like when I look back at it now, I'm like, what was I thinking? Like I was just like grasping at straws. Like I felt stuck. Clearly, I needed to do something that I felt
Hmm.
like was for me.
Hmm.
It was not real estate. It was very stressful
Yeah.
and crazy and not like, $0 later. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was I think because I was so stressed with that, I needed an outlet again.
Hmm.
And then I started to write this all down
Hmm.
and go with it and do everything. And it just turned into like, okay, every day now I'm sitting down and writing. And I love
Yeah.
this. This
Hmm.
story is I'm doing this. Like it's happening. And again, like I said earlier, if it never sees the light of day, then that's cool. But like, let's see it start to finish. Let's see
Yeah.
what we can
Yeah.
do with this because it was a story I felt like needed to be out there. So yeah, so in hindsight, I was like, how stupid are you for trying real estate? But if I hadn't done that,
Right.
like, would it have led me to finally start writing again? And like I said, being on Bookstagram and, most people might roll their eyes at this if they don't have it or if they're not in this community or haven't gained something from it. But it's like Bookstagram literally helped me heal my inner child and like embrace a part of myself that I was like, it's like again, in high school, you're teased for being the one who likes to read. And it's like nobody wants that. And like,
Yeah.
okay, your brain's not developed. That's why you're so stupid. Like who I was in high school is a travesty.
Hmm.
But like, because I just denied, I went with the flow of a lot
Yeah.
of things,
Hmm.
for the sake of being with the flow. And then now at 34 years old, I'm just like, I don't care. Like you can call me nerdy because I like to read, but like this group of people that I have
Hmm.
met and connected with, we all like the same shit.
Yeah.
And it's not just about books to them. Like it's
Hmm.
for a lot of moms, it's like it's escapism for us. I mean, escapism for everybody, but you know, when I started to see people in this community like write books and share their story, I was like, man, that is awesome. Like they are so brave. They're so good.
Hmm.
That's amazing. And then I would talk to people and they're like, why don't you write something? And I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I'm like looking at my notes app with like my
Well,
20
I do
book
have like a
idea.
million ideas, but
No, I'm again in my mind, I'm like, I'm no Ernest Hemingway. I'm no like top authors that are popular now. Like
hmm.
I was thinking that I had to be like this collegiate level,
Hmm.
not even collegiate. That's not even that impressive, but anyway, but you know what I mean. So So it was like the failure kind of real estate and needing an outlet. And then also like, it really like my books to girlies, like this community just is so positive and uplifting, and it just gave me the courage to put myself out there like that.
I completely agree because I had my kids back to back. I had my kids are a year apart, and
But you had 4 years of the cloud.
yeah,
Like just yeah.
but I feel like most moms after they have children, they lose a sense of self.
Yes.
They feel like they don't have, at least in my case, I didn't feel, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Okay, so this is
Hmm.
what, I needed
Wow.
something
Good
for
for
my
you. That's hard.
thank you. I know. But um, but I've always felt like that's all I am. Like when,
Hmm.
and so it's like I started reading again. I think Kristen Hanna was the catalyst, and then it led me to ACOTAR. And then like I was like, oh
Hmm.
my God, I
The
love
gateway. Yeah.
and yeah. And then I was like, for New Year's, I joined Bookstagram, and that was 2 years ago. And this community has become so critical for my mental
Yeah,
health and
me
like
too.
the people and I feel like when I first started, I had like a circle of people, but it's kind of like shifted and grown. And it's like, but I know that I can always go back to that original group of people and be
Yeah.
like, hey, like I need help or I need advice or something. Like I know
Hmm.
that they're gonna reach back out and be like, yeah, of course, like what can I do for you? And I know if I ever ran into anybody on the street that
Yeah.
would hug and be like, oh my God, like I get to see you in person.
It's
But
so cool.
it's just, yeah, I just feel like as moms, we lose that sense of self. And so to have something that not only brings us community and support, but also gives us an outlet that is just for us. It's not
Hmm.
for anybody else. It's
That's
not for my
it. Yeah.
kids. You know what I mean? I'm doing it for me and I love doing it. And I'm sorry I'm talking about myself, but this is my experience.
No,
But
you're
it's
fine.
like I loved Bookstagram so much that I wanted to expand on that community. And I was like, what
Hmm.
can I do? And then it's like, but how can I also, get a side hustle from this? Like how can I make this something so that I have the freedom to stay at home, be with my babies, but
Hmm.
keep myself busy with something that I love to do. And it's like once I figured out I wanted to support indie authors. I was like, this is it. Like, I love doing this. I love like this is literally my favorite thing is
Yeah,
to
it's
talk
so
to you
smart.
guys.
I love that.
Um, and I just think that you guys are such. I mean, I talk about this all the time, so I'm a broken record, but I just feel like when it comes to like book recommendations and getting your names out there, indie authors are so severely underrepresented, but at the same time, they make up such a huge part of the
They
bookstagram
really
community.
do. They
And it's
really
like
do.
why are we not lifting these people up more? These are our friends. Like these,
Yeah.
like, and you, like, the one thing that I love about indie authors is that when I'm reading their book, I know I'm going to send them a DM and be like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah, yeah.
what is
It's
happening right now?
great.
Like,
Yeah.
I asked you, I was like, is this based off of a real place? Like, can you tell me more about this? Like,
I know. And I'm like,
but
here are
then,
pictures of my
yeah,
parents' house.
you sent me like 10 pictures.
I'm like,
But
yes,
it's
this is
like,
my favorite place. I want everyone to know. Because like that's another thing is like there are so many places and references that I make in there that like if you knew me personally, like my
yeah,
best friend's like, oh, like I
yeah,
changed all the names, I changed
yeah,
everything. She's like, oh, this is that place, this is that place. She's
yeah,
like, am I right? And I'm like,
yeah,
yeah. And so when someone actually will ask me about it, I'm like, yeah, I wish you all knew like what these places were. Like, here you go, because you have to remember, I'm like, when
yeah.
I'm writing a story, I forget. I'm like, oh, these people like aren't gonna get all my references or Easter
Mhm.
eggs to like Wilmington, and
Yeah.
also like they're not inside my head.
Hmm. Thank
So I'm
God.
like, I had to be extra descriptive, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for
But
sure. But
yeah,
that's,
I'm like, yes, picture it.
yeah. But I feel like indie authors, like, from what I've heard from you all, is that even the little, like a share, like, or someone else, not you posting about your book, but someone else posting about your book
Hmm.
makes a big difference. Haley was like, I actually see like evidence, straight up evidence of like when this happens, this also happens. Like I either
Yes.
get a follow or I get a sell or
Yes.
something, but she sees direct evidence of when somebody else promotes her book that this happens and
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
can attest to that for sure. It's
yeah, and it's
huge. I'm
like,
like,
okay,
that's like the best thing you can do is like that's the
yeah,
best kind of marketing for us. It's hard enough to I'm also like nobody wants to see me post about my book every day, but
yeah,
like, a girl's got to market.
yeah.
So,
I
you
know,
know.
but so that's kind of where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be the champion and I'm gonna do this for
No, I
everybody.
love
Like,
that. I
yeah,
think
but
it's uplifting other voices is always a good thing, you know?
yeah. And it just and it sucks because every time I do like post a general like advocating for indie authors are always I posted this on my story last night, so it's fresh in my head, but like
Mhm.
everyone's always so like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing what you do. And it's like, my God, how deprived are you? Like that my little post is like you're just so incredibly grateful for that. And it's like,
No, genuinely. Every time I see someone like tag a review, I'm like, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. Like, I'll never get over it.
yeah, and it's like I feel like indie authors have so much to give, and it's like, let's, I don't know, we all just got to help each other out, okay?
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
And again, I think that readers underestimate just how important liking, sharing, commenting,
Hmm.
reviewing, especially. And I feel like a
Yes.
lot of times people just review on Goodreads, and I've
Yeah,
I've had like J.A. Merkel was one of my authors, and he was like, can you copy that review and put it on Amazon? And I was like,
I
oh, okay.
know.
So
I'm
this is
like,
something that like
it's a lot. I wish
people
the
need
same
to
thing.
know is that like
Hmm.
not only do it on Goodreads, but also just copy the same thing, put it on
Yeah,
Amazon,
you don't
you
have
know?
to write a different review,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I just need the review.
But even those little things can make a big difference in an indie author's life. And it's crazy just to
Yes.
see how big of a difference it is. And I think that readers just don't understand that. And I'm trying
Hmm.
to, anyways. But
Yeah,
so
no, it's great.
I'm sorry, I got off on a tangent again. I see me and you, I told you me and you were going to be
I
talking
know.
our ears
I
off.
know.
But
I go off on them too. I'm like in my mind right now, I'm like, did I answer a single question?
I was
But
wondering, am I even talking about the same thing that we were
who
just talking
knows?
about? Okay, so next question. What is your writing process like? So did you have like a daily routine or tools? I mean, you're talking about how you're trying to balance, so did you have like a specific time that was like this is just mine, like maybe at night when the kids go to bed, like, or early in the morning or whatever?
Yeah, I can't do early in the morning.
Okay.
I get like unless it's like 9 a.m. and later, but 9 is not early to me. Um, Late at night after the kids go to bed, absolutely not. Like my brain is
Okay.
fried, dude. Like
That's
I'm on relaxation mode. I'm having a drink. I'm having a THC drink or having a
yeah.
gummy. I'm having
Yeah.
something because
Yeah.
I'm not like a big alcohol drinker, but I'm like, no. And also, like I said, some ideas would come.
Yeah.
So I wasn't writing essentially, but things would happen. But no,
Mhm.
every day, my son is with his dad on the weekends. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I pick him up from school and he won't ride the bus. So we do kiss and ride because he doesn't want to be
Mhm.
on the bus. And that's okay because that's our
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
And I don't know about how old are your kids?
4 and 5.
Okay, so is the one in kindergarten yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how the kiss and ride line can
Yeah.
get. I don't
Yeah.
know about your school, but
Yeah.
these parents are crazy. So like school gets out at 4, but if you're not there at like 3:15, you're like way in the back of the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would work all day, and if I was able to, I would show up at Kiss and Ride at 3 o'clock every day with my snacks, my coffee, or an
Oh.
Alani, and I would write for an hour in the Kiss and Ride line. That was like my designated day. And like there's other people there at 3 o'clock. Trust me. I would show up
Oh
at
yeah.
3, girl, and there would be like 10 people in line.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was kind of like my me time. It's not ideal to like write scrunched up in the front
Yeah.
seat, but I would put my Spotify on shuffle.
Yeah.
And this is also how I make the playlist too, because a song would come and I'd be like, yeah, this is hitting. Like this is
Mhm.
inspiring me, and I'd be like, add to playlist.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But so for a while that was my routine, is
Wow.
I would do kiss and ride every day. And then nap times on Friday and Saturday, because I also work Sundays. So nap time during Friday and Saturday, which can be 30 minutes, it could be 3 hours. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm not writing until I've done the dishes. done the laundry. Like I have to have everything checked off my list. I know I'm crazy.
If y'all don't know already, moms are superheroes, okay?
Yeah, and
Because
we'll do everything else first. And and then it got to the point too when I'm going through editing and stuff, I would put hair color on a client, stick her under the dryer to process. I would be in the back having my lunch. I would just be writing for like whatever 15, 20 minutes if that's all I had.
you're amazing.
And
How are
it
you?
was
That's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, this
But I
is
think that's why I hated doing it that way though, I will say,
yeah,
because sometimes I feel like my voice can sound different writing wise
yeah,
from day to day. And so I
yeah,
hate having to stop mid scene and pick up another 2 days later because then
yeah,
sometimes I'm deleting the whole scene and I'm
yeah,
starting that over because today it doesn't feel right.
yeah. Interesting.
So that really drug out the editing process for me, but like I wish that I had more dedicated time to write, but really I'm just like taking it where I can get it. I'm trying to not take clients at all anymore on Thursdays and just have Thursdays be like
Hmm.
6 hours of writing.
Yeah. Wow. That would be
If
amazing.
if
I'm
I can
glad. I
sit for
want you to
that.
get out of the salon in the car when you write. I want you to have like an actual setup going
Yeah. Every now and then my best friend and I would be off on the same day and we would go to like this local coffee shop
yeah,
and we would sit there for a couple hours
yeah.
and eat and like kind of halfway chat, but she would work on her laptop and I would write. So that was nice because it was like I couldn't do laundry. I couldn't do dishes. So I found that having like a local like watering hole, if you will, to go
Hmm.
right at is very
Hmm.
helpful for me.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to start doing that again.
Yeah, that will be nice. I can't, that's amazing. You're amazing. Wow. So it says, my next question is biggest challenge as an indie author, but I feel like we already talked about that with imposter
Yes.
syndrome. So I
Yeah.
feel like we don't need to talk
And
about,
everything you said, yeah, about
yeah.
like but yeah, I think I think imposter syndrome for sure, obviously. And then maybe like the fact that you always just feel like you're in like an uphill battle, right?
Mhm.
Because other books are just going to continue to get so boosted, obviously. And they traditionally published authors might have more resources available to them. So,
Yeah. One thing that I always am interested in knowing is, and I don't know if you can do it in a nice way because sometimes authors are frustrated, but is there something that you wish readers knew about like the process or, something that you wish that they were more aware of and that, I don't know, they could be a little bit more understanding of, or like in regards to like the challenges that you guys face as an indie author, right? So like we were talking about
yeah,
like their impact on like leaving a review, right? So I'm talking about
right.
things like kind of like that, like
Yeah, that's one for sure. I wish that
mhm,
people knew that. And that even if you have 300 followers on Instagram or five, if you share it on your page, like
mhm,
one person might
yeah,
go buy it. One
mhm,
person might even just follow me and maybe they won't buy this book, but they'll buy another book.
yeah,
Or maybe they find someone else they want to follow through me. Like you just don't know how these things will go. And then also I feel like I do wish that people could understand like the difference in resources in that like those of us that don't have disposable budgets and things like this, it's like I can't do an audiobook for you. I don't have the funds for that. I wouldn't even know where to start. And it's like I
mhm,
can't do this, that. And I had someone ask me once if they could read my book and post it to YouTube. And I was like, no, that's
yeah,
piracy, but also
yeah.
and she
I'm like,
meant
I feel like
well. She did
it's
mean
not
well, but
okay.
I was like, no, that would be horrible, but thank
Yeah,
you. I'm
I
like, I
feel like the
appreciate that
intention
you
was
want,
good,
yeah, I'm
but
like, I appreciate that your friends who only do audiobooks want to listen to it, but like, that's like my husband. I rag on him all the time. I'm like, so are you gonna read my books? Because he hates like physically reading,
oh yeah. So yeah.
but he only does audiobooks. And I was like, should I just record it and put it on your phone?
I
And he was
would
like, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna
I
read
was
it.
gonna
And
ask,
I was
well,
like,
why don't you just do it yourself? Because you
yeah,
have
I
all the
know.
time.
Because
You
I would ruin it for him. I would like say something and I would laugh and I'd be like, "Oh, also by the way." Like it would be awful. But what else I wish that they knew or understood? The resources thing is a big one. Also I would say this one's probably kind of mean. Um
do it.
it's weird energy when you're like um begging for an arc and then you get an arc and then you ghost. That's weird to me.
Hmm. I was wondering, how
Um,
many arcs did you get, arc requests? Because you sent
oh
like
my God.
how many
Yeah.
applications did you get, right? Because you posted about applications were open, and that's how I got it, is that I applied. But
I I remember being blown away day one. First of all, it took me like a day to make that Google form. I'm like, so let's not even get into that. But so by the time I got it and put it up,
yeah,
I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh, I think I put it up on a Saturday and I was like, no one's gonna see this. I'm gonna post it because I'm busy today and my feelings
yeah,
won't be hurt. So I posted it and then I like kept it set up like to emails me
yeah,
anytime someone submitted, and I was like, as someone who never checks their email, I,
yeah,
I was like, oh my God, oh my God. Like the thing kept going off on my screen, and I'm like, nobody ever emails me. What's going on? And I was just like, really, that was so cool. I was very touched by that. I cannot remember how many it ended up being because I had so many people asking for them that I ended up opening it for a little bit, and I sent arcs to pretty much all of my list.
okay,
Just because as a new author, I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's get it. Like, let's get it
mhm,
out there. Let's rip the band-aid off. I'm scared. And you know what? Like, it was so hard to choose because I had actually almost every single person that applied, I have spoken to, or we had like cross paths somehow or something, like
yeah,
I had a lot of random people from my life apply that just wanted a free book. So I was like, no. And I'm like, I haven't spoken to you in 15 years. I don't even know how you got this link,
yeah.
but
How
you
many?
know,
So if I'm looking up how many reviews you have, because only so right now
it's
this
like
time.
40.
So
Uh,
yeah, you got 39 reviews and 64 ratings. So how is that compared to how many arcs you sent out?
mm,
Be-
There are a
Because
lot, there are a lot floating in the abyss.
right. And so this is something that I really want to reiterate to you guys,
You're like,
is that I know, because well, it's like I got to do my job, okay? Because
yeah.
when you get if you apply for an arc, if you read an indie author's book, please review it. Leave a rating, even just a rating, right? And even
Or
if
like if you didn't like it, you can tell me and that's okay. I know
yeah,
this is like controversial, but I'm like if we know each other,
yeah.
like if we talk and you were really excited for my book and you didn't like it, that's okay.
Mhm.
We'll
But
be
so
okay.
I have a couple things about that. So, one, leaving a review, regardless of your rating of it, right?
Hmm.
Regardless, it still helps. Okay. So, even
Yes.
if you didn't like it, if you didn't like it and you don't leave a review, that's more harmful than you not liking it and leaving a bad review. And so, but I will say also, don't tag authors in bad reviews
Yeah.
because they will ask for criticisms, right? If you want it. And so
Hmm.
that's why I'm saying, like, okay, but you have your friends, like you have the people on Bookstagram that you're
Yeah.
like, okay, so you didn't like it. Like, can you tell me more about it? Like,
I'm
they
like,
will
that's
seek out,
fine.
they will seek out constructive criticism when they want it. Don't tag them. Um,
Yes.
but yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
I'm not
like,
every author.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like apparently readers don't understand just how impactful it is, because it's like if you
It's
send
literally
out
the algorithm. It's like the
yeah,
same as like this shitty algorithm on IG. It's like more comments of any kind.
mhm. Yeah.
Engagement is
So
engagement.
me and Haley talked about, even like, so I started putting my indie books. So like even Zodiac Academy's indie, but
Yeah,
like all of my indie books are right here, and I try to put it like, and anytime I'm holding books now, I try to make it my indie
I
books,
love that. Yeah.
because I think the more that we talk about indie authors and the more that we push it out, the more the algorithm's going to pick it up, and it's just going to
Mm,
have like a snowball effect. But we have to keep it going, right?
yes.
So we
Yes.
have to like, so that's why I had a frustration where it's like when I talk about indie authors in general, everyone's like really supportive and love it and whatever. But then when I talk about an individual, it flops. And I'm like, we want to support indie authors, but when we talk about an individual, it's like, is
Yeah.
it like a sense of competition among authors? Is it the algorithm not pushing out the individual, right?
Hmm.
Like I don't know what's going on, but there's a clear um separation of the amount of, like, I posted why indie authors mattered to me yesterday and it blew the freak up. And then it's like I posted something about Haley and it's getting like 13 likes. And it's like, what is going on? And it's like, I don't know how to improve that. And it's like, I have no control over what gets the,
Mm-mm.
how much interactions it
I
gets, but
know.
there's a clear difference. There's
Yeah.
a very big difference in individual indie authors getting out into the algorithm. Like without a doubt, anytime I post about an individual versus indie authors in general, it's
Yeah. It's
huge.
hard. It's like an uphill battle, I'm telling
It's
you.
yeah. And it's even, I feel like it's even harder for the author talking about themselves, right? Like
Hmm.
it's one thing for me
It
because
feels
I'm
so
a,
weird to do it too. So it's like
yeah,
when it also gets no engagement, you're like, oh, you're like, I can't.
no one likes me. But
I
that's
know.
why it's like important for there to be people like the readers to be like, oh, like I'm going to add this to my story. Like I'm reading this book right now. It's
Hmm.
awesome. I love it. And yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many things that readers should know about indie authors. Like
I
there's,
mean, we could write a book about it, truly, like
yeah,
a coffee table book. Like
I'm
if you're going
gonna
to be
write
an
that.
ARC
That's a
reader or
good idea.
whatever.
I'm gonna make a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
ebook
Anyone
and
can
be
write a
like,
book, girl. Anybody. Anyone could. It's not that hard to publish it, you know?
I always tell authors, I'm like, I'll be the mean person and I'll tell them what they're doing wrong. You tell me
Yeah.
what you wish they knew, and I'll tell them. Okay,
Yeah.
'cause I'm not an author, so they can't get mad at me, right?
Yeah. And I think people too, it's like I think there's way to leave negative reviews, like you said, that are constructive, that are
Mhm.
helpful. Like
Yeah.
again, if you just like didn't like if you're just not a contemporary romance reader, okay, then you shouldn't have read it. But
Yeah.
also like I like you shouldn't have even applied for it
Yeah.
also. But like the thing is, like it's like I appreciate kind of like and then this is another thing too, is I'm like, do these people feel like obligated to apply for my arc? I'm like, because I know they don't read my genre, so this is like
Hmm.
odd. Like we're like friends, we talk
Okay.
sometimes, but
I
I'm
was like,
like, and then
okay.
I'm like, well, I'm gonna approve you, like we're friends and you're a reader, but like I'm like, don't feel obligated.
Yeah.
Like if it's not your genre, it's not your genre. Like I can't
Yeah.
write like to cater to all my friends. But yeah, it's like I don't know. I wish that the I wish readers understood that you can be negative in a review in a way that's like maybe I'll see that and be like, ooh, that's a good point. Like let me
Yeah. Yeah.
make sure to get less descriptive about this in the next book or more like that, you know. I'm not asking for free
Yeah. Yeah.
criticism. I'm just
And
saying
again,
these things can be helpful when reframed, you know.
yeah. I know that LJ, so she was my first author. She wrote, have you been paying attention to my other authors at all?
Is
Because
it no, who is it, LJ?
LJ Clarence, so she wrote The
Okay, yeah, I was
Silversmith
like,
and
not Andrews.
she got trad published after,
Oh, that's awesome. Is it a
yeah,
fantasy book?
yeah, it's romantic. It's
Okay, good. It's just one. I can do that. Let me add it to my
oh
list.
no, it's a series.
Oh,
It's gonna
but
be a
like
series.
only one is out now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I can do that. I can
yeah.
do that.
It's
Yeah.
really good. Like the yearning. I feel like the one word to describe that is yearning. It's very good.
Ooh, okay. Hold
Um,
on. Let me add it.
but she was starting to get really like obsessive about going through all the reviews. And she was like, I ended up having to delete the app from my phone because I was checking it so often. And every time I read a bad
Wait,
review,
hold on. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay.
What is it? Just Silversmith?
The
The
Silversmith.
Okay, see, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry. This is very important.
No, it's so good. Yeah,
Why is it not on Goodreads?
it's part of my giveaway too. So this is the Silversmith.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Sorry, you can't see it.
Oh,
It's
it's
on
one word. It's one
the
word. Okay, okay. Hold on. I'm literally like adding it so I can put it up there because it's about to, as I'm getting deep into writing this book, I need some good fantasy books.
Yeah, I need a physical. I need to
Ooh,
buy
Kindle Unlimited. Okay, we love that.
yeah. So
Added. Boom.
but she was getting so upset over the negative reviews. And it's like, even this book that is a very high level of writing, she ended up
Mhm.
getting traditionally published. I mean, she's receiving negative reviews, but she was berating herself over them and like taking it really
Yeah.
personally. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so, how have you navigated if you've received those? So, like, how have you navigated that and like kind of not let it get to you too hard, right?
Um, one, I have a very short fuse, so So this has been a learning experience for me. And like I said, not always the thickest skin. And I think
Yeah.
again, it depends on the day.
Yeah.
It was really just me having to remind myself this book is not for everyone. Like
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've said that to myself. Um, and I also got constructive feedback from people that I'm like, this is genuinely helpful,
Mhm.
noted. Or I've been like, that seems like a very personal issue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate it, but whatever. So yeah, I don't check reviews anymore. I don't go look.
Mhm.
Um, I only knew that this time maybe I had like 40 on Amazon because the other day I was setting up my Ingram Spark profile and I went to all the
Mhm.
links and I was like, oh, I was like, that number is still pretty low.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm still getting sales, so
That's
knock on
good.
wood.
Yeah, no. And it's
Um, yeah, but I think like I don't know. I just have to it's really like that has been my mantra. It's like this book is not for everyone, and I
Mhm.
just try not to consume the negativity. I think the things that I took the most personally weren't even necessarily about the book. Like I said, it's just I notice people shift in energy like very quickly, and I think it's just weird if you were all of a sudden like wanting this book
Mhm.
so badly, and I give you this book, and then you don't even like talk to me at all anymore.
That's
I'm
so
like, those are
weird.
weird because
Yeah.
I'm like, I wouldn't have been weird about it if you hadn't been
Mhm.
like this. I'm like, so I think the way that some people move differently after you publish a book, that
Hmm.
has actually hit me personally because sometimes the people you think are going to be happy for you are not actually happy for you. And that's just in life in general.
See, so are they authors? Some of the people.
No, no,
Interesting.
no. Other indie authors are like some of the most supportive people
Okay, good.
that I know. I did have, yeah, I mean, yeah, I got one review from another like aspiring author who's like writing her first book that was like there were grammatical errors, and I was like, yeah, it's the arc. Like you're not supposed to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about the
yeah,
typos. I'm
yeah,
like, also I type very fast, okay? You got to give me a break.
yeah.
Um no, I just think yeah, I think sometimes you're just I guess surprised at
Mhm.
why such a like why do you feel any type of way about me
Mhm.
having like released this book?
Yeah.
Again, if it's not for you, that doesn't mean anything about us personally. In
No,
my opinion,
yeah.
should
It says more
shift.
about them than it does about you. It doesn't,
Right. And then I'm like, do you feel weird that you never circled back again? And that's why you're being like weird to me? And I'm like, that's okay, but like I'm just like, let's get it out front person. Do you
yeah.
know? I will overthink it and be like, why is this person being weird? Like,
I feel like the only thing that I could think of like a legit reason is like I ask for an arc, I get it, and then I get too swamped with all these other things that I have going on and I haven't
yes.
read it yet. And I'm like, I feel bad because I haven't read it yet. But I feel like I in that situation I would also be like, I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah, I've
So
definitely done that to people, and I've had to reach
yeah.
out to other people and be like, I'm so sorry. And then it's like other indie authors are like, girl, you're writing your book. I get it. Like, get to it when
Mhm.
you can.
Yeah.
And I always do, but I
Yeah.
also don't sign up for ARCs anymore because I know
Yeah.
myself.
I don't have time for it anymore. I'm getting all sorts of indie books
Yeah.
now. So I'm like,
Like there are a few people I would like alpha or ARC read for, but
Mhm. Yeah.
not like
I feel like all the people that I feature on here, I will always read like their next books coming out. But
yeah.
other than that, I'm not going to sign in for any arcs. But
Yeah.
um, so moving on, what has been your proudest moment in your writing journey so far?
Getting my Catholic mother to to buy and read my books. No. My proudest
But
moment
no.
is just like doing it and like
Yeah.
pulling the trigger and like pushing publish on like the
Mhm.
KDP website. I was like, all right, this is
Mhm.
it. And then just I'm proud of the parts of me that I've healed by
Mhm.
finally like writing the book I wanted to write my entire life. Like, did I know it was going to be about this? No, but I wanted to write a book and I did it.
Do you think that this book gave you a lot of healing?
I do think it did. I
Mm.
think back all the time, like just to me as a little girl, and I'm like, we could have gotten here sooner, but like I'm glad that this is where we were. to get
Hmm.
to here, you know?
Hmm.
And yeah, it's very cool.
And I think that you did it at the perfect time because you've built this community and you've had so much support from the people on like I said, or like you said, when sent out notifications that applications were open and the amount of applications you received, like
Yeah.
that's because of Bookstagram.
Hmm.
Like
It is. It's
yeah,
community. That's the
yeah,
power of
absolutely.
community, you know?
It's such a game changer. This community still, like, I haven't dealt with a ton of like negativity on this app
Yeah.
or in this community yet. I've had a few moments, but like nothing really bad.
Right.
Overall, 99% of my experience with the Bookstagram community has been positive, and still they blow me away with their support and like their
Hmm.
encouragement and everything like that. It's just, I'm so happy to be a part of it, and I'm glad that you
Yeah.
have. So is one of your goals to not be a hairdresser at all anymore?
Yeah. Um, we are a long way off from
I
that,
know.
but
Okay.
I live in Northern Virginia. These prices, man.
Really?
Um, yeah. I couldn't be a stay-at-home mom, girl. I don't have the patience. You guys
Mm,
are a godsend, and
thanks.
my daughter's not even 3 yet, so
Yeah.
I'm
It's
like, you don't want me doing this with you all day. Like I
it,
do it Fridays with her by myself, and I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I know my mother-in-law always is trying to convince me to be a teacher, and I'm like, no.
other
I like
people's
hardly
kids? No.
I hardly have the patience for my children. Do you think I
Hmm.
could take on a full-on classroom? No.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I have no desire.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is why I do this, because
Hmm.
now I have like something that I can stay home and I actually enjoy to
Yeah,
doing,
and it's
you
like
know?
a passion thing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so that was one thing I was asking is like, you want to shift eventually to be a full-time writer?
I would love that. That
Yeah.
would be a dream come true. You know, I love my job and I love my clients and like they're
Mhm.
like family. But yeah,
Well, maybe
I
you
would
could shift
like
it to where it's like hairdressing is like the side hustle and you can do it
yeah, I
from
would like
home.
it to be like I can do hair for the people that I love and like,
Yeah.
the people that I want to continue to see and then have the power to I'm lucky that I do already have the power to say no to crazy people, but like
Yeah.
to whittle that down, and people are crazy about their hair. To
Yeah.
whittle that down even more would be awesome. And just again, because I don't have as much dedicated time to write, like I would love to know what I could do with like
Yeah.
4 days a week where I could just have dedicated time to like a chunk of time to write every day, not kiss and ride time, you know?
Yeah.
So that would be great.
I know. Just wait till she goes to kindergarten, because now that I have one, it's next year he'll be in full-time kindergarten. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
so much time to myself. It's gonna
Yeah.
be amazing.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for any other either new indie authors or aspiring indie authors?
Write your book. Like just do it. Don't think about it too much. Put it down, write it. Again, it doesn't have to be magnificent. It just has to mean something to you. And then I think if it means something to you, the story that you've put down means something to you, like that'll that'll translate and you can turn it into something bigger if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But like the bookstagram critics,
Yeah.
if you will,
Yeah.
um, are scarier than they seem.
Yeah.
And like the right people will flock to you, as with like
Hmm.
any even when you just start a bookstagram
Yeah.
writing aside, like
Mhm.
the right
Mhm.
people will always flock to you, the others will weed themselves out.
Yep.
And that putting your book out there is putting a part of yourself out there. And so just I would
Mhm.
say don't be afraid to do it. It's not as scary as you think, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's scary, but it's not. It
Right.
just
But if you got the
it's
idea, you're
scarier in
halfway
your
there.
head. Yeah, right. It's
Mm-hmm.
scary in your
Mm-hmm.
head than when it actually happens, and it's like, oh, this wasn't as bad. I made it way worse in my brain
Yeah.
than I did.
And like something that a lot of my clients said to me, actually, like my hair clients, they would be like, I would be like, oh, I would kind of like downplay it, down talk myself, because it's not like I didn't have stacks of my books sitting in my studio. I didn't like announce that I was writing. I don't post on my personal page anymore. I don't post on my hair page much. So it's like, unless you were a client of mine that happened to enjoy reading and I told you about my page,
Yeah.
then you found me. But like, I wasn't telling people because I also don't want my clients to freak out that I'm leaving.
Mhm.
So something that a couple of them said to me, they're like, you wrote a whole book. They were like, that's something to be proud of. Because I remember thinking like, oh, it's not a big deal, anyone can do it, whatever. And I'm like, but that's the thing. So for these, aspiring indie authors or whatever, it's like if you have the idea, you're already halfway there. And to be able to put it in a story in itself and had to have the creative mind to even have the baseline idea, you're
Yeah.
already there. And like that's a hard thing to do,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. So we're going to start wrapping this up, and I want to know, how can readers connect with you, and how can readers purchase your book or support you as an author?
Okay, so I am on Threads, but I'm not really on Threads. So don't try to connect with me there. I just like have it.
Yeah.
I do not really use TikTok, so the best way to connect with me is through my Instagram, which is
Mhm.
at author Ali Morgans, Ali Morgans with an S on the end.
Mhm.
Um, and that's the only social media. Again, I have like a Facebook business page that's author Ali
Okay.
Morgans,
Yeah.
but that's again only because it's connected to my Instagram. But
Do
the
you have a
main
website?
place, yeah, I do, which
Okay.
is www.allymorgans.com.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's no, I think it's oh my God. I have to update it. It's actually on my to-do list today. So let's see what it is. I should know. I'm pretty sure it's allymorgansbooks.com. Um, I
And I
think it's
will put all these links down in the description of this interview. So
okay,
I will,
perfect.
you'll send them to me and I'll post it down below. But where can
Perfect.
they get your books?
Right now, you can get my book, my paperback, on Amazon, and then it's also available on Kindle Unlimited
Mhm.
for the next few months. And if you have another device, you can buy the ebook. But I'm hoping to get it in Barnes and Noble soon, so
Oh, okay.
I'll keep you posted. We don't really have a ton of like really good. Well, we have no indie bookstores like
Yeah, yeah.
immediately surrounding me, so I haven't been able to go out and go kind of pitch myself to the ones that are like an hour away, but I'm going
Yeah.
to. But right now, easiest place is Amazon. Once I get the Barnes and Noble thing set up, I will let you know. And any other place I can get it, I will.
So Mercedes Kofed, one of my authors,
Hmm.
got her book into Barnes and Noble, and she had it like up next to some really like popular books. So I'll talk to her for you and see how
Yeah.
she went about doing that. But do you have any, teasers or upcoming projects that you want to mention here for anybody interested?
Okay,
You
so
don't have to if
this
you
is
don't want to give anything away.
no, this is fine. This is okay,
Okay.
so this is low key what I'm really bad at because I want to tell everybody everything. Like I am like a walking spoiler for like my own books because I'm like
Yeah.
I'll tell my friends, I'll be like, do you want to know what happens? I'm like, because like I have to tell someone. I'm like, and I need you to tell me if it makes sense. And I need
Yeah.
them to be a reader.
Yeah.
So I'm like, because again, if you don't know the romance genre, like you're gonna kind of hate the cookie cutter of it all
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I will say book two is gonna be really fun. You have Mallory and Shane, but we only know them, very surface level.
Mhm.
But you will find out what happened that night on Mallory's
Yeah.
birthday in Logan's pool.
Yeah.
You will find out right away,
Yeah.
and you will kind of go through the fallout of that,
Yeah.
and then they'll be forced in a situation where maybe they have to pretend they are something they are not. And
Oh.
it's gonna get really, really fun. And there's a character in book two that is based off of like my uncle who was like my best friend. He passed away a couple years ago,
Oh.
but he I am writing his character in, and I think he will be a fan favorite side character. He's not getting his own book,
Oh, okay.
but like,
I was like,
but
is
I'm
this
like,
on the side?
no, no. I wish I could say more about book three
Hmm.
because while I get really excited to as I'm writing book two right now, I have been jotting things down almost daily for book three. I've written like
Okay.
specific scenes or whatever, and then I'll puzzle piece it all together. But like and like one of my favorite things is like the music, and so like I'll hear music lately and I'm like, oh, book three. I'm like making the playlist,
Oh
and I'm
my.
like, these are the vibes. So book three is also what can I you know what, let me say this. Book three is about a single mom,
Oh my God. Okay.
and I'm very excited
Oh my
about
God.
her.
Okay. Oh wow. That's gonna
Hmm.
be interesting. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's one's for the mamas out there. Talk
Yeah.
about representation. God.
Yeah, and like I was a single mom for a few years, so I'm like I that might be why I'm the most excited for it, but also just this I smile about it because this character came out of left field for being one of my favorites. Like I when I wrote her in originally, I was like because you she's in book one. But
Yeah.
when I wrote her in originally,
Oh.
I
Oh.
was like,
Then I
yeah.
know. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
You know if you read.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But when I wrote her in originally, I was like, we'll never see her again. And
Yeah.
then the more I got through book one, I was like, no. I was like, we're seeing her again.
Yeah, because it
And
ends off with that mention and it's like,
yeah.
oh my God.
So I'm like, so
Oh,
we'll see her again. And
okay.
her
You
story
kind
is a good
of like
one.
her. I kind of don't like her because of, but I can understand that she was going through a hard time.
And it's tough. I've read books
Yeah.
too where I start off and I'm like, I don't like you. Why do
Yeah.
I want to read your book?
I guess I don't like what she made happen, but it's all right
Right.
at the end. It's okay.
Right. It all makes
Uh,
sense, kinda.
yeah. All right. Well, Allie, thank you so much for being here. I am
Thank you
super
for having
excited
me.
to work with you throughout the month of January. It's going to
Me
be
too.
so much fun. If you guys want to hear more from indie authors or discover new hidden gems, like and subscribe this video. And until then, happy reading.